It's October 22nd, 2021. Since I've been back in Queens County, Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, my lips have turned, they're not no longer pink, they're more of like a gray, almost hypoxic state. And then, I don't know, a few months ago, I had something on this side because my lips split open as I was walking. Then I had it healed finally after a few months, and then it started over on this side. But then I picked it, it got worse, but whatever. And then I got some kind of chemical burn here. Just walking in this area. So and also the electrostatic charge, my knees started cracking, which I couldn't understand. Today I was watching, I was listening to somebody. I mean, for me, it's somewhere between French and Russian, is what it sounded like he was speaking. And so, almost like when you listen to down south, like in like Texas area, when they have that twang, you know it's English, but you know that it's Southern English. It's not a British English for accents, almost like a flavor of English. But anyway, so I was listening to him. He was doing some stunts with Red Bull in the snow and on like ice caps. And I'm watching him, some summit camp. I'm watching him and his face turns a different color because I know the oxygen saturation goes. Then I'm watching for the color of his lips to try to see if it's an oxygenation change on, like, I don't know, I can't, I'm doing like house here on diagnostic call of what's going on in my local environment, being that it's more of a sadistic sedition edition. Whereas in high peak mountain summits, it's less likely to have been a human interference of biological deterrent of some sort or harmful substance. Here, it's more likely to be something that one of the humans are doing purposely, in some disgusting whatever humans are. There, it's just like a natural biological change, but you can see the crossover events to try to gauge exactly what's happening. Then I was watching this, and I'm like, yeah, see, people who hike those levels of mountains would know more medically about what my challenges are and be more accurate than any of the local New Yorkers, for sure. Even the local New Yorkers that study medicine and are God's helpers, right? Yeah, don't trust a fucking thing they say. I'll take a guy from the Alps any day as far as oxygen saturation. If I was on a mountain and this is what I looked like, what would it be? What would you like? What would mountain rescue require? Then I'm watching. This says Hoda and Jenna on something called Today. I don't know who this woman is, which one she is. I don't know if she's a guest star. I'm not sure. But she's creating Play-Doh at home. There's the solid Play-Doh. Then there's some kind of foamy, like gushy Play-Doh. And then there's the Ublek, which starts hard and then gets liquidy if you stop moving it around. So I actually have the reverse of that in my knee joints at the moment. So, so this is kind of what it's supposed to feel like instability feature when you're walking between your bones. Is it supposed to be pliable and just work? Food coloring you want. And then you start mushing and you mush and mush and mush until it becomes a
dough just like this. Now you can add.
I mean, it could be considered something like this because, again, it's more mushy. Like, it's not cartilaginous. But it's not osteophyte either.
Add food coloring, but I kind of like that it looks like a cloud or like snowballs for inside.
But the blue one is where
Amazing Ublek.
she calls it Ublek.
Fun for kids. This is literally cornstarch and water and a little bit of food coloring. What's really fun about this dough is that it starts out as a solid as you're moving it in your hands, and then as soon as you stop moving it, it turns very liquidy and will run between your fingers.
And that's kind of what I'm going through now, is when I stop my myoskeleton structure feels as though in this acclimate, in this energy grid, which is an unnatural design for several different reasons that I've outlined before, it is like, I know that it looks like everybody else's, like you could just jump on set and like, she must be crazy. Like, I don't know what she's talking about. Right, yeah, no, not so. In this acclimate, if you go into like physics or physique design and diorama with energy gridding and like metrics of what's going on, it literally feels like there is some form of, for lack of a better term, like a lead-weighted something, like going through the extremities, the lower extremities, as you try to move. It's almost like if there's electric underneath and you're like, I used to say it's like an electric trolley, but electric trolley cars used to have overhead a track, and then especially like the Lionel trains, and then they did something with electrifying the tracks. Well, that's what it kind of feels like as I move. It's more of a shuffle. The knees, it's hard to magnetically unstick your leg and walk with your legs and knees coming upward and holding the body posture and structure from the abdomen is incredible. It's almost like you have to hunch over because everything is pulling you down towards the ground. It's that heavily magnified to the ground. And you're constantly trying to work against the magnet and pull yourself back, which is just, and then it hurts with the pressure inside the lungs. And then my knees start to crack. So there's times where I just can't stop. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh. There's whole fucking table just went out, and I just went through the fucking table. Again, this is just being here. It is like nothing ever fucking works, and nothing ever fucking is good. This is like being in hell. This is like being in a poltergeist fucking hell. So anyway, so the Ublek is what the knees feel like. My knees crack, the floors crack. And that's what the knee joint feels like, because there's nothing stable in this environment. There's something about a nucleotide and a nuclear family that has to do with stability in a quark and a quark and a radicalized ionic sphere of electricism, magnets, and others. I don't really know. I mean, it's alchemy. I don't really know or have the training or the verbal acuity in order to find who and what I need, because this environment in New York is not set up. It's set up for being kept quiet and for being imprisoned if you speak out. It's really, really scary. And then you have people who are like, well, if there's a threat to democracy, well, define democracy, because so far it's been we had a really great system of management, government, and safety for the people. At some point, somebody already broke that down, started some sedition, and now it feels like the good management that we had is no longer in place, and it's just time dilated and grown really dangerously, and now it's almost like if the earth, I put this up on Facebook the other day, if Earth tipped on its side and flattened itself, that's what it feels like. But it is not a healthy environment in New York whatsoever. And it's almost like I call it a fish trap at this point, because the island looks like a fish. And I had a problem with a man named Roe, R-O-E, which is like a fish egg. This is the flag, and then this again is my personal tetra with the hole in it of where I should have been, and then where I've gotten stuck somewhere in topiary and in labyrinth of problems. I can't believe that the glass on the table just broke. I mean, again, physics just moves and changes like that. It shouldn't have broken. I was sitting on the edge, partial edge and partial in here, but yet that side broke. Again, the physics and the weight distribution doesn't even make sense. Why would that side break and not this side, since this is where all my weight was distributed? Again, the physics in this environment doesn't work the way that it worked in Ronkonkoma or the way that it even worked in Virginia. I had biological problems then as well with the magnetic grid, but not nearly or as severe as what I'm experiencing right now in the heaviness of the legs, the hypoxia, and the cracking now of inside of my knee joint at the hinge, like right at the hinge of where it bends when I put weight on it. The Ublek it's kind of like when I stand, I have to wait for everything to resettle before I start making movements, because it physically in the lower extremities hurts that badly. And then sometimes it shoots up to the sacral area. So again, I don't know who's in charge of this level of safety and security for the biology that's within the New York natural grid system of natural gas and natural electric. But somewhere between fiber optic, cable optic, and all of these new services that people have to pay for and are a security concern, I don't even know where to begin or who to even ask for help. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. It's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxy is broken.